Oh, is today Sugama? I forgot. Today is what day? Fifteenth. 11, 13. Oh, 15th is Sugama. Okay. I forgot. I think today is Sugama. Okay, I'll open Sugama. Where did I put my book? Just a minute, I'm searching for the book. I thought today is Vishuddha Vedanta Sara. I misplaced my book. Yeah, it is here. I hope today is Sugama only. Okay. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punahan Namami Gauda Padancha Shankaram Sri Sureshwaram Swaminam Satchidanandam Indram Tam Anarupine. Oh, I'm not able to understand. Today is Sugama day, probably, because I've lost the track of them. Since I am not uploading, it's not possible to upload due to some problem in the cell phone. I think today, considering today is Sugama day, I shall speak Sugama only. Okay. I should have seen it little bit before, but anyway, I didn't think of it. I just came away like this. Anyway, let me understand and speak. So, mithya is just misunderstanding. The fact is Brahma. That I am the pure consciousness, free from all trouble, all problems. Because the consciousness by its very nature is independent. Okay, consciousness by its very nature is independent and it is indestructible. Once it is independent, then all other qualities come into picture. An independent is not subject to time and place, therefore no subject to change. It doesn't have parts, therefore no subject to birth and death. It is not subject to shrinking and expanding, therefore no subject to pain and pleasure. Then the very nature of consciousness itself is free. And how do you say that I am the consciousness by my nature? In deep sleep, you can look at it. You are effortlessly, spontaneously, you are existing without being an individual. That my individuality doesn't exist. That means I am just free from my individuality. So you have just given up the individuality, you have become free from the individuality, and that is your anubhava. That I am free from my sense of individuality. With the individuality go all the samsara of birth and death and pain and pleasure and good and bad and limitations, relationship, dependency and everything. All that go with the very sense of individuality. And in Shastra says the very sense of individuality, jivatvam, is a mistake. That means you are not really jiva. You are not an individual. That means you are free from all the problems due to individuality. You are free from all the problems of individuality, such as the birth and death and pain and pleasure and so on. Now I have been struggling as an individual. As an individual, I have been struggling hard, and whatever I do, I cannot get rid of the very individuality. As an individual, I work, I do something, I get some experiences, I get related to certain things, but the very individuality I can't transcend, I can't get rid of. I can't become free from the very individuality. So I just don't know what to do. Shastra says, look at your deep sleep experience. You are already free. So that is your real nature. That you take yourself to be a waking person, that there is a waking state, that you are a waking person is a mistake. You have not come to waking, I tell you. You have been the same truth which you find yourself in deep sleep. You are the same entity, same nature which you find yourself in deep sleep. That nature is even now. You have not come to waking state. Coming to waking state means becoming an individual. It is not that you as an individual have come to waking state. Being in the waking state is your individuality. To be individual means to be in the waking state. They are synonymous. That you are in waking state means you are an individual. That you are an individual means you are in a waking state. Now, Shastra says you have not come to waking state. That means you have not come to be an individual. You are even now the same Sushupti Swarupam. You only have to look at yourself and recognize that. And this present state of individuality, present state of being in a waking state is a mistake about you, is a misunderstanding about you. So you have misunderstood that you have become an individual, that you are in a waking state is not you. Because your normal experience shows, if you look at your deep sleep, you are no more a waking individual. Neither you have a waking state nor the waking individuality. They're just naturally not there, without any effort. You have not done anything. Because anything you do only as an individual. But as an individual, you can't get rid of the very individuality. You can't get rid of the waking state because it is all swabhavikam. It is swabhavik adhyasa, means swabhavikam, you perceive them. And the very nature of Sushupti is free. Therefore, you only have to look at yourself the way you are in deep sleep and correct your individuality. This is what is required. Nothing is to be done. Therefore, mithya means you are remaining Brahman, you are remaining pure consciousness, you are remaining free from samsara is a fact. But your understanding of yourself that you are a jiva, an individual, remaining in the waking state and struggling hard. Whatever. But once you are an individual remaining in waking state is a misunderstanding about you who is free from all this. You who is free from all this, taken to be a you which is subject to this individuality and the waking state. Okay, it is simple and a misunderstanding. So this misunderstanding, adhyasa, needs to be corrected. So here the Purvapakshi in the Sugama was explaining what is mithya. He says mithya is a product. We have told any jnanam necessarily requires an object. Here you have a rope and your jnanam about the rope is snake. Here is a contradiction. This contradiction is wrong. It cannot exist. Therefore, any knowledge necessarily requires an object. Since you have a knowledge of snake, there must be an object snake corresponding to your knowledge snake. So this is what the Purvapakshi says. We have already corrected. This is the mistake of Purvapakshi. The object is a misunderstanding doesn't need a wrong object. A wrong understanding doesn't need a wrong object. The very misunderstanding, the very mithya means the knowledge is against the object. Object is one, your understanding about is totally different. The very misunderstanding stands as a misunderstanding about the reality. You can't expect there should be a wrong object according to the wrong knowledge. This we have already said, so just I am reminding you, a wrong knowledge doesn't require a wrong object. If it has a wrong object, that it is no more wrong knowledge, it is a true knowledge. Now this is where they missed the very concept of mithya jnanam. The post-Shankarites have committed a biggest mistake. Isn't it? It is the biggest mistake of Vedanta. That a wrong knowledge requires a wrong object. So corresponding to the wrong knowledge, mithya jnanam requires a mithya padartha corresponding to the mithya. Then the knowledge is no more a mithya jnanam, it is a satya jnanam. Then the satya jnanam, you can't do anything, it is a reality. Oh. So this is the biggest problem. The whole Vedanta is turned into wrong thing. Whole Vedanta is missed. The knowledge is a mithya jnanam. When that mithya jnanam is about an object, real entity. Regarding the real entity rope, you have a different knowledge called the snake, which is a wrong knowledge. Your real nature is pure consciousness as you are in sleep, but you take yourself to be a waking individual and a waking state. That there is a waking state and a waking individual is not a fact. The fact about you, the fact about the world is pure consciousness. The fact about you is just consciousness is the reality. But that reality is missed and you end up and you happen to misunderstand. You find yourself in a natural misunderstanding of taking yourself to be an individual facing the world. That I am an individual facing the world is, this whole experience itself is a misunderstanding about the Sushupti Swarupam. If you say that I have see their explanation, that I have misunderstood myself, that I am a jiva. According to jiva understanding, if there is a real jiva, they say for every misunderstanding requires an object. If I am a jiva, this is a misunderstanding, they accept I am a jiva is a misunderstanding. I am an individual is a misunderstanding, they accept. If they accept this to be misunderstanding, then they say this misunderstanding requires a misobject. A wrong understanding, a false understanding requires a false object. That means there is a jivatvam. There is a jivatvam and you are understanding that jivatvam. So here a false understanding requires a false object, false jiva. Oh. Similarly, if I am seeing the world, they say there is a world and I am seeing it. So this kind of explanation is totally spoiling, undermining the Vedanta. The truth is, the very that I am an individual facing the world, facing means experiencing the world, this whole one experience of being an individual facing the world is a mithya jnanam, is a misunderstanding without object being there. It is not that you have an understanding about the world and you are correcting your understanding about the world. This is a wrong. See, they present it this way, that there is a misunderstanding about the world. You have to correct your misunderstanding about the world. It is a wrong. The very world is of the nature of your misunderstanding. The world itself means your misunderstanding about Brahman, about pure consciousness. World is only the form of misunderstanding about the reality which is consciousness. This is the fact. Snake is the form of misunderstanding. Snake is not an object about which you have a misunderstanding. Okay? Snake is not an object about which you have a misunderstanding. Snake is the very form of misunderstanding about the rope which is a reality. Similarly, I am Jiva. They say you understand yourself. You misunderstand yourself. You are a Jiva. About Jiva there is a misunderstanding. About Jiva there is no misunderstanding. I repeat it. Jivatvam is the misunderstanding about your Brahmatvam. That you are a Brahman is a reality. That you are a Sushupti Swarupam is your reality. Regarding your Sushupti Swarupam, you take to be a Jiva. Jiva means that you are in a waking state. You are always the Sushupti Swarupam. You think you have moved away from Sushupti and you are in a waking state. This is a misunderstanding. You have never moved. You have never come away. You are even now that same Sushupti Swarupam, free from samsara, free from individuality. Therefore, I think that I have moved away from Sushupti Swarupam. I have become an individual. You have not become. That individuality is only your thought, a wrong thought about yourself who is Sushupti, pure consciousness. So this is the real Vedanta. If you miss it, it all becomes intellectual and more confusion. That's why you listen, years together you listen, nothing happens because you have been reinforcing. You have a misunderstanding. A Jnani, now they present Jnani, more and more we'll discuss later, but here also it is relevant. So a little point I'll tell you. They say Jnani is an individual. Jnani understands he is not an individual, but he is an individual. Now you say you have a Jivatvam, you have an individuality. This individuality understands after understanding Jnani, he remains individual. This is a confusion. Jnani is not an individual, the individuality is Jivatvam. Jnani understands I am not an individual, I am the pure consciousness which is the whole, which is the wholeness, non-dual. There is nothing other than him. Jnani understands himself to be non-individual. Individuality is only a misunderstanding about himself. Correcting the misunderstanding and understanding yourself to be non-individual consciousness is Brahman. They present Jivatvam is not out Ajnanam, but you understand, after understanding you remain an individual. Jnani is an individual who understands. Abba, this is the real problem. Now they put you, after you understand, what is the true understanding? He says you understand Brahman and still you remain an individual. So it looks that regarding that Brahmajnani individuality, you have a misunderstanding that is a Jiva individuality. They put it, Ajnani Jiva is a misunderstanding about Brahmajnani Jiva. They put it like a two Jivas. Brahmajnani Jiva is a real and Ajnani Jiva is a misunderstanding about Brahmajnani Jiva. What is this? This is all confusion. If you are still continue to be a Jiva, continue to be a Jnani individual, then individuality is there. Individual, that's what is a samsara, that's what is adhyasa. So they miss the whole point. You talk to the people how they say. You listen to their talks. You watch them, you will understand what they talk. Therefore, a mithya jnanam requires a mithya vastu. That means Jivatvam is a mithya jnanam, is a misunderstanding. But every wrong knowledge requires a corresponding wrong object. Therefore, there is a Jivatvam. They put Jivatvam is an entity, which is a wrong Jivatvam, wrong object Jivatvam corresponding to the wrong Jivatvam. Wrong Jiva thinking. Okay, wrong individuality. So, wrong individuality is a misunderstanding, a wrong knowledge. That I am a Jiva is a wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge requires a wrong Jivatvam corresponding to it. Where is this wrong Jivatvam? This is the thing creating a problem. Wrong Jivatvam is not an individuality. There is only a wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge. Jivatvam is only a form of knowledge. There is no object. Jivatvam is only a wrong knowledge about you as a Brahman. That means pure consciousness who is free from time. Sushupti Swarupam is free from time, free from place, free from object, free from subject-object duality. Therefore, free from a state. You are a free from state. Take to be living facing a state. You take yourself to be living in a state, an individual living in a state, but you yourself are free from a state. Your nature is stateless. Your real nature is stateless. That is your Brahma. Even now you are stateless. But the thinking you have, you are in a state is only a thinking, not a reality. It is a thought, but not you, not reality, not you. Your real nature is you are stateless. Okay. The statelessness is your real nature. That you are in a state is only a misunderstanding. Therefore, a wrong understanding doesn't require a wrong object. Wrong understanding requires only a right object. Okay. Every wrong understanding requires a right object, a real object, about which this wrong understanding is experienced. Wrong understanding requires only a real object, not a wrong object. This wrong object is a fabrication of post-Shankarites, Mula Vidyavadins. Similarly, coming to the Jagat. Jagat is only an understanding about Brahman. Brahman is Sushupti. Regarding the Sushupti, which is a reality, you take the Sushupti as the world. World is a form of knowledge about Brahman. Okay. World is a form of knowledge about Brahman. Brahman is the reality, that is Sushupti. Regarding the Sushupti, you have a misunderstanding that it is appearing like a world. There is no world as an object. World is only a wrong perception about Brahman, about Sushupti. So the waking state, the waking world is a wrong perception about Brahman, which is the reality. Therefore, regarding the same Sushupti Swarupam, you take yourself to be an individual facing the world. That I am an individual facing the world, this whole thing is a one misunderstanding. This misunderstanding has this wrong knowledge has no wrong object. This wrong knowledge has only one object, real object, that is Sushupti, which is pure consciousness. This is Vedanta Siddhanta. Okay. Now, because we have to repeat it, otherwise Purva Paksha, you get lost in the Purva Paksha. Purva Paksha is a dangerous thing. Purva Paksha means wrong thinking. Wrong thinking is a dangerous thinking. You should not overemphasize wrong thinking. Just to touch it and leave it. Because we have to correct the wrong thinking, don't have to reinforce the wrong thinking. Okay. Now they presented that there is a wrong knowledge that I am a Jiva, I am seeing the world, this is wrong knowledge we have told. Now the Purva Pakshi says, they say, Advaita Purva Pakshi, wrong knowledge requires a wrong object. Wrong knowledge of Jivatvam requires a wrong Vyakti of, there is a false person of Jivatvam. There is no such thing called a false person. There is only a false knowledge of Jivatvam. There is no false person. For the false knowledge of the world, there is a false world. There is no false world. But they say there is a false world corresponding to the false knowledge of the world. Corresponding to the false knowledge of the world, there is a false prapancha. Corresponding to the false knowledge of Jivatvam, there is a false Jiva person. There is a false Purusha. Oh my God. Corresponding to your Jivatvam, your knowledge of Jivatvam. Okay. Now, then they say, how does this false knowledge, false object, now though they called it false, but if we watch it, it has not become false. It is not false because when there is an object corresponding to the knowledge, and the knowledge is about an object, then it is no more a false knowledge. What is this? Even this started every 20 minutes again getting cut. Ayyo Rama. Why is it doing? think everything is doing the same thing. Going topsy-turvy, nothing can be done. Anyway, let me try. So the false, the so-called false knowledge, they are unable to show it is a mithya jnanam. In fact, they are accepting their mithya jnanam is true to the object. There is an object, then it is no more mithya jnanam. It has become a true jnanam because knowledge requires a corresponding object. Jiva, the thought of jiva, thought of individuality requires a corresponding individuality. Thought of world requires a corresponding object world. That means that I am an individual, I am facing the world is not false because it requires a corresponding object. Then how can you call it mithya? You know how they explain? It is a mithya because it is produced by a mithya substance called avidya. There is another thin layer, a thin avidya, a positive substance which is covering the rope, which is covering Brahman and transforming into jiva and the world. Transforming into jivatvam and the worldtvam, prapanchatvam and jivatvam and jagatvam. It transforms into the jiva and jagat because it is there avidya which transforms it. And why do you call it is this jagat and jivatvam mithya? Because it is produced by that mithya avidya. Then why that avidya is mithya? Mithya because it is neither existing nor non-existing. So existing, non-existing is simply nature of mithya. Mithyatvam is not an understanding. Mithyatvam is a nature of a thing. See, they present it. We say snake is mithya because snake is mithya means snake is a wrong understanding about the rope. See what we say. What we say mithya, snake is, when you are seeing snake, there is no mithya because you don't know that it is mithya. When you understand the rope, then only your thought of snake becomes mithya. The thought of snake becomes mithya only when you see the rope. The moment you see the rope, the thought of the snake becomes mithya. The moment you understand it mithya, it is no more there other than rope. Rope alone remains. Therefore, understanding the snake to be mithya and snake going away and becoming merging into rope alone, understanding that it is a rope alone, these both are simultaneous. When you understand mithya, mithya is no more there. Before, you don't know it is a mithya. Then once you understand it to be mithya, it is no more there. This is our way of understanding. So mithyatvam is only understanding what appears to be there. Understanding your knowledge to be wrong. It is not true to the reality. Understanding the snake to be not true to the reality. In fact, it is one with reality, one with the rope. This is called understanding the mithyatvam. For them, mithya is only the nature of the snake as a snake. Okay, at the level of the snake. Now you are not referring to rope at all. Rope remains rope. Snake as a snake. Okay, snake as a snake. It has got a certain character. It has got certain, according to them, snake as a snake has a character. It has got certain quality, certain nature, certain character. The very character of snake is mithya, according to them. According to them, the very character of the snake is mithya. Mithya means what? It is a particular character. What is that? It neither exists nor doesn't exist. The existing, non-existing, it can be categorized neither as existing nor as a non-existing. Yet it is existing, but it is not existing. So it cannot be categorized as existing. It cannot be categorized as really existing. Nor it can be categorized as totally non-existing. Neither totally non-existing nor totally existing, but a kind of existing. This character is called mithyatvam. So according to them, mithyatvam is a character about the apparent snake. This mithyatvam, that sadasabhyam anirvachaniyam character of mithyatvam, pertains to both knowledge snake as well as the object snake. Object snake is mithya and knowledge snake is mithya. Both are mithya according to them. Their definition of mithya is neither totally non-existing nor totally existing. Neither totally existing nor totally non-existing. This is the character of that Mula Vidya, which is covering up Brahman, and the same thing transforms into Jagat as well as the Jivatvam. Jivatvam, Jagatvam are the objects transformed from that avidya which has covered the Brahman. Okay, this is their explanation. So first they told knowledge requires an object, and that object is a produced one. That object is born at that time. While you are in mirror, while you are in adhyasa, the object is born. Okay, tatkalam, at that time. And how the process of production he has explained. Now we have already spent 2 classes. This is the 3rd class. We'll proceed now. How do you remove this jnanam, this ajnanam? How do you remove this mithya jnanam? Okay. How do you remove this mithya jnanam? He says, Katham punaha adhishtana jnanam vina tadrisha mithya jnana nivrittihi. How can you remove that the wrong knowledge as well as the corresponding wrong object? They put it to, I am a jiva is a wrong knowledge, that my being jivahood is a wrong object jiva. Similarly, I am facing the world perception is a wrong knowledge, wrong perception requires a wrong object according to them. Okay, first itself is a wrong perception requiring an object itself is a wrong, but anyway, that's how they say. Let us tentatively assume, accept what they say. Accept means let us listen to what they say. We may not accept, but just listen what they say. So this wrong knowledge and wrong object, world, wrong knowledge and object in jiva, both adhishtana jnanam vina tadrisha mithya. This kind of mithya jnanam, mithya ajnanam. Okay, how do you remove that avidya, which is sticking to Brahman and producing adhyasa? Producing adhyasa, it is existing before adhyasa. It is sticking to Brahman. Why? Because it is there, sticking to Brahman. Okay. Nahi shuktya vachinna chaitanya prakashena tatrotpanna rajatasya nivruttavapi rajata jnanasya nivrutti rupapadyate. We are asking, Vedanta is asking. See, if Rajata Padartha, that means the snake object, even if the snake object is removed, the snake thought will not go away. Suppose you bring the light, what happens? Snake object goes away. But what about the thought snake? Snake thought remains, isn't it? Now this is the Vedantins question, asking them, there is Mula Vidya Vadins. How do you remove that snake thought and snake object? Snake thought, snake object together. They talk it as one. Shukyavachinna Chaitanya Prakashena. See that snake which is born as you started perceiving it. Along with perception, an object perception is born. We say there is only perception, object without being there. No difference between us. There is a perception of snake without the snake being there. They say along with the perception there is a tentative object snake, false object snake is born along with the perception of the snake simultaneously. An object snake is born. Now how will that snake object go away? With the knowledge, they say, as you bring the light and come to understand that it is a rope, object snake goes away. What about the knowledge? Rajata jnanasya nivritti rupapadyate tad adhishtanasya sakshi chaitanyasya pratibhasa bhavaditi chet. Because in the example, we take it in the illustration, they told there is a thought snake, that means a knowledge snake and object snake. Supposing even if you give the object snake, how will you remove the knowledge snake? This is Advaitins we are asking. We are asking this because they say Avidya has produced this knowledge snake and object snake. And that avidya is sticking to Sakshi as well as the rope. It is sticking to Sakshi as well as the rope consciousness. If it is sticking, once you see the rope, object snake goes away. But how does the knowledge snake goes away unless you know the Sakshi? Common man doesn't know Brahma Jnanam, doesn't know Sakshi. Now when you bring the light, the object snake goes away, but the knowledge snake remains. How will you remove? This is our question. They say, Atra Vadanti. Now their reply. Once you take a stand, wrong stand, you keep on defending. So wrongly keep on defending. Okay. Let them see how they defend. Before we criticize, let them allow them to say. Let them speak. After listening, we will then think of it. Jnanasya vishayadhinatvat. They say jnanam requires an object. Vishayadhina means dependent on object, not independent. Solely dependent on object. Jnanam is solely dependent on its corresponding object. Jnanasya vishayadhinatvat. Vishayasya cha rajatasya cha nivrittatvat. When the snake has gone, the knowledge of the snake goes away automatically. Rajata jnanasya nivritti rupa padyate. The knowledge snake is corresponding to the object snake. When the object snake goes away, knowledge goes on its own. This is one reply. Another reply they give is athava. Another reply. Nivrittir dvividha. Another way is this removal of snake and removal of misunderstanding of snake goes two ways. Eka sarvathapi nivrittihi. One is total removal. Aparatu karanela. Second is that snake object is tentatively merges into the causal avidya, mula vidya, which is sticking to the rope consciousness as well as to the sakshi. So there is a rope, there is a bhava rupa causal avidya sticking to rope consciousness, which transforms into object snake. Okay. So this object snake merges back into causal avidya. This is second way. One is a total removal, another is tentative removal. Tentative removal, it merges, it becomes avyakta. Yatra sarvatha nivrittihi tatraiva tadadhisthana jnanapeksh. Where the snake is totally removed. Totally means again you will never mistake snake. Totally removed means you will never mistake snake in your life. Does it ever happen? Supposing you mistook the rope for snake, you bring the light and the snake goes away, you understand it to be rope. Then again, after tomorrow again there is a dim light, again you mistake a snake. Don't you mistake the snake hundreds of times in life? Hundreds of times you discover it to be rope. You bring the light. When you bring the light, you understand it to be rope. Even after understanding this rope to be rope, again second time you see in somebody's house, again you mistake. Same rope or another rope? You don't know. Maybe the same rope or another rope, you keep on misunderstanding again and again and again and again. How many times you misunderstand? It does happen. Many times you misunderstand, even after recognizing the rope, still you continue to misunderstand. Then what is the reason for it? The snake which has gone, how did it come again? See? How did it come again? If the ajnanam about the rope is gone, again where did the ajnanam come again? Yatra sarvatha nivrittihi tatraiva adhisthana jnanapeksha. See, once you know the rope and the avidya sticking to the rope consciousness goes away, now again you will never misunderstand snake, but that doesn't happen in life. Therefore, yatra punah karane layah eva na sarvatha nivrittihi. See, when you see the rope, what happens? When you see the rope, what happens? The object snake merges into its mula vidya. The object snake merges into the rope consciousness. So that next time when you misunderstand, again snake has to be produced. Okay. If you remove the snake permanently and know the rope, next time it is impossible to misunderstand. Even if you see in the semi-darkness, you will not be able to misunderstand the snake. Okay. Because once you see the rope permanently, snake goes away. Again, there will not be any misunderstanding in your life. But what we find in life is again and again and again and again we keep misunderstanding the same rope or another rope in the semi-darkness. That means each time the snake is born. Each time the snake is born. That means previous time when you brought the light, and saw the rope, the snake did not go away completely. Snake has only merged into the rope. Only snake was not visible. There was a thought of a snake, but no object snake. Again you go away somewhere. Again tomorrow you come. In just a split second, again you come to misunderstand. Because the snake which has merged into Mula Vidya again makes a reappearance. Yatra punah karane layah eva na sarvata nivrittihi tatra tu napekshate adhishtana jnanam. Where it is a karane layah, there is a Mula Vidya sticking to the rope consciousness, which earlier transformed into snake. Now it transforms back into Mula Vidya. Transforms back means it merges back into Mula Vidya. Only snake doesn't appear, that's all. Only snake doesn't appear. So in these things, you don't need Rajata Jnana. You don't need the rope Jnana. Tentatively snake disappears without knowing the rope. Oh, here I mistook it. See here, the rope knowledge has not taken place. The only snake knowledge has gone without the rope knowledge gaining. Without gaining the rope knowledge, snake has tentatively disappeared. Tatra bhoga karanasya karmano okay. Tatra tu napekshate adhishtana jnanam. There, adhishtana jnanam, sakshi jnanam is not required. Without sakshi jnanam, rope misunderstanding can be removed. Tad yatha sushuptau sarva padarthanam bhavati karane layah. In sushupti, the whole jagat goes away. That means the jagat which was tentatively born during adhyasa, they say, according to them, jagat is born tentatively during adhyasa. But when you go to sleep, the tentative jagat, which is born jagat, again merges back into sushupti. Tatra bhoga eke andre, that's because karma is exhausted. To enjoy the world, you require a karma. When your karma is exhausted, the jagat merges into sushupti. Why do you go to sushupti? They explain you go to sushupti because your karma to enjoy the world is exhausted. Your karma to enjoy the world, your karma to experience the world, face the world is exhausted. Tentatively for some time. If you sleep for 6 to 7 hours, 6 to 7 hours your prarabdha is suspended. Okay, this is what their explanation. Tadyatha sushuptau sarva padarthanam bhavati karane layah tatra bhoga karanasya karmano abhave. The karma which is creating, which is giving rise to your experience goes away. Then hetur layena adhishta. Therefore, it merges into the avyakta. That is maya. That is avidya. It merges into Mula Vidya. You don't need to know the rope. You don't need to know Brahman. You only merge into Sushupti. You have not known Brahman. Evam atrapi rajata jnanasya natyantiki nivrittihi. Similarly, snake doesn't go away permanently. Yena adhishtana jnanam apeksheta. Because snake will come again tomorrow. Tomorrow you have to misunderstand. Again tomorrow misunderstanding. Again and again. How many times you have to misunderstand? Therefore, snake has not gone permanently. Apitu karana ajnane karane jnane. Karane jnane laya eveti. Yatha musala praharena ghatasya swakarane laya. He gives an example. There is a pot made out of what? Mud. Now you hit it with a stick. Musala praharena. With a stick you hit the pot, it breaks into pieces. Then it merges back into mud. Similarly, tathacha shuktika jnanena rajata nivrittihi. यथा मुसलप्रहारेण घटस्य स्वकारणे लयः तद्वत् तथा च शुक्तिकाज्ञानेन रजतनिवृत्तिः रजताभावेन च रजतज्ञाननिवृत्तिरुपपद्यते. Once you know the silver, once you know the seashell, the silver merges into seashell. Rajata, once there is no Rajata, here you two things. The snake object and the snake knowledge. When the snake knowledge, when you bring the light, snake knowledge merges into the Mula Vidya. Once the snake object is not there, snake knowledge also automatically goes away. When the snake object goes away, snake knowledge also automatically goes away. Iti. Prakarantarena api rajata jnana nivritti upapadayitum shakyate. Okay. This removing the snake jnanam can be done in another way also. In another way also you can explain it. Katham Shukti Jnana Kale Shuktyavatchinna Chaitanyam Shukti Rupantakkarana Vrutyavachinna Chaitanyamcha Abhinne Bhavataha Sato Bheda Bhavat Chaitanyasya Upadi Bhedenaiva Tat Bheda Bhavat Vrutyavachinna Chaitanyamevatu Sakshi Chaitanyam Nanyata Sakshi Chaitanyasya Vrutyupadi Vashad Vrutyavachinna Chaitanyamiti Vyavaharat. It is too much complicated. तथा च शुक्तिका प्रत्यक्ष स्थले साक्षि चैतन्यस्य शुक्तवच्चिन्न चैतन्यस्य च अभेदात् तावदुक्तं भवति शुक्त्यवच्चिन्न चैतन्यं च अवच्छिन्नं चैतन्यं प्रकाशते इति यावदुक्तं भवति साक्षि चैतन्यं प्रकाशते इति तदेवं शुक्तिका ज्ञानेनाधिष्ठानभूत साक्षि चैतन्यस्यापि प्रतिभासादुपपद्यते मिथ्याभूत रजत ज्ञान निवृत्तिरिति. अन्योपि प्रकार वर्ण्यते यथैतदुपपद्यते. Oh, this is too much I think. This is a lot of speculations. We can't teach it in one sentence. I think time is up. We'll stop with today. It is only just a 45 minutes class. We'll tell in the next class this complication, how you remove it. Oh, terrible it is. This is found in Vedanta Paribhasha. Vedanta Paribhasha of Mula Vidya once, the Dharmaraja Advarendra wrote it. There is several commentaries on Vedanta Paribhasha. On that, this kind of explanation is there. It is a complication, so much boring. We'll tell tomorrow, okay? Because I have to read it in advance and prepare myself a bit. What is wrong is difficult to understand and difficult to remember. So what is according to Anubhava, it is easy to understand. You don't have to remember. It remains in your Anubhava. It is non-existing in Anubhava. It is a speculated concept. Then I have to prepare and tell you this speculated concept. Okay. So in the next class, we shall tell it and immediately go with the answer only. Siddhanti's reply. How all this is wrong. Okay. We'll tell it briefly in 10-15 minutes and then directly give the reply in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.